What's going on, everybody? It's MasterAquatics, and I'm just bringing you guys another video. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. It'll help me out a lot. So I'm going to be talking about some fish that you just can't be mixing with other fish. It's a big no-no. A lot of these fish, if you get the right fish and they grow up with other fish early on, there is a possibility that you can introduce them and keep them with other fish. But if you get them when they're adult and you try to mix in some other fish with these guys, there's going to be a problem. So the first fish that I want to talk about is the betta fish. Now everybody knows that betta fish cannot be kept with other fish. This is why they are sold in little plastic containers when you go to Petco and PetSmart and local fish stores. That's why they keep them separated, because these are technically fighting fish. In Taiwan and other places in the world, people will get these fish and make them fight each other for sport and entertainment and gambling and all that stuff. Kind of like two pit bulls that were raised to fight other pit bulls and other dogs. That's what they do with these fish. Now you can keep some females with other females, but it just really depends on the betta. But for the most part, you want to keep these fish by themselves. Here's a good example why. These are two betta fish. They are going at each other extremely aggressively, and they are going to kill each other, and they will fight to the death, and it's not pretty. Alright guys, so the next fish that we have on the list is the dwarf pufferfish. These are freshwater fish. They are not saltwater. They are the few puffer varieties that are not saltwater. These are freshwater only. So do not put these guys in the saltwater or they will die. These fish also feed off of snails and small crustaceans and other things, and they are very easy to take care of. They do have teeth, and feeding them snails regularly will maintain their teeth, make sure that it doesn't get too large. Now these fish, they are pretty nippy, and that's why I have them on this list. They are a dwarf puffer fish that will not be happy with other fish. They are pretty aggressive fish, even with each other, and they will take out other fish if they can. Even though they are small and they are cute, don't let their cuteness and size fool you. These guys are very aggressive, they have a lot of power, and they can take out small fish same size as them or fish that are smaller than them. Now you want to be careful getting these fish because, like I said, they will kill your fish. They don't like other companions, and as you can see, that one back there was chasing that one, the one back there, just a little bit. So that just really shows how aggressive that they can be. Care for these guys is not that hard. You can put them in a 10-gallon. Just make sure that they have a planted aquarium. Make sure that you have a hang on the back filter and some sponge filters. Make sure that they have a lot of spaces to hide, just in case one starts to pick on the other. And just feed them snails and small shrimps on a daily basis, and you should be fine. I have some links to some filters that you can use for these guys down in the description. The next fish that we have on the list is a very popular fish in the aquarium trade, the flower horn. Now there's a lot of different varieties of flower horns, so I'm just generalizing right now. I'm not talking about one specific flower horn, and throughout these clips you will see a bunch of different kinds, different colors, but all of these flower horns have one thing in common, and that thing is that they don't get along with other fish. There are rare instances where you can have some flower horns in a big aquarium with a bunch of other fish, but don't expect your tank mates for these fish to live if they are few in numbers, especially if they are smaller in size. You might be able to have a fish similar in size with the flower horn be able to survive and withstand the aggressiveness of these fish, but there will be a lot of fighting. It's very rare and it's very hard to get these fish to be compatible with other tank mates, unless you have like a really big aquarium, or if you just have fish that are just a lot bigger than the flower horn that can take a beating, that can defend itself. But if you put a small fish in there like tetras, guppies, angelfish, African cichlids, whatever the case may be, whatever is smaller than the flower horn, it's going to die. It's going to take a beating. So if you mix a flower horn with something smaller than it, expect it to die right off the bat. Maybe not the same day, maybe not the same week, but eventually that fish that you put in there with the flower horn is going to die. Even for fish that are the same size as the flower horn, they are going to take a beat. So here's a quick example of just how mean they can be to each other, and as you can see, they just fight relentlessly. They are a fighting fish. They will kill fish. They are not to be taken lightly. Please, before you pick up a flower horn, just know that they are mean fish, and they are for certain fish keepers out there. They are for the type of fish keepers that prefer to just have one type of fish and one fish only in an aquarium. Now, care for these guys and tank size requirements for these guys. You can put them in a 50-gallon tank and they will be okay. And just know that they are freshwater. You can feed them krill, you can feed them bloodworms, you can feed them all kinds of varieties of food, and they are just very easy to take care of, and they are very personable fish. They have a lot of personality and characteristics, and that's why people sacrifice tank mates for this fish and keep this type of fish all alone in an aquarium because of how personable they can be, and that's why people love flower horns. The next fish that we have is the Oscar. Oscars are very popular fish. Now, it's possible to keep these guys in an aquarium with similar size fish, but if you're going to put an Oscar with fish that are smaller than it, they're not going to do so well. They're going to be in for a rough day. They are going to take a few beatings because the Oscar is a mean fish. It gets pissed off a lot, and they are very personable, and that's why people get them. But sometimes people fail to understand that they are very powerful fish as well. Here's a short clip of an Oscar fish fighting with a severum. As you can see, he's locking lips with that fish. So they're cute when they're small. They don't seem so mean and so aggressive, but as they get bigger, you know, they start to develop their temperament, their personality, because every Oscar fish is different. You're gonna have some Oscar fish that's just an angel, and he's gonna get along with everybody, and he's not gonna fight with any other fish in the tank. But then you might have that one Oscar that just wants to beat up everybody, wants to kill everything in sight, and that's why I put the Oscar on the list. I'm saying it is possible to have an Oscar with other tank mates, but don't always expect that to be true. Be careful when buying an Oscar. The next fish that we have is the piranha fish. Everybody knows not to mix piranha fish with any other types of fish. It's possible to do so. I've seen some people do it, but for the most part, I wouldn't do it. And there's a few videos out there that proves that you don't want to mix in other types of fish with these guys, especially when you have these guys in a school of other piranhas. That's when they start ganging up on other fish and just tearing them to shreds. So check this out, guys. Here's a quick clip of a piranha just showing how aggressive and how powerful they can be. There's a baby Oscar in there, and they absolutely tore that guy up. I'm sorry that you guys had to see that. I'm just showing you guys these clips just to let you guys know that piranhas are no joke. Alright, so the next fish that we have on the list are any fish that are breeding and paired up with another fish. The reason why I put these types of fish on the list is because everyone knows that whenever you have a breeding pair of any type of fish, whatever it is, whenever they lay eggs, whenever they give birth to their offspring, it's going to turn into a war zone in that community tank. And that's why most breeders for any type of fish, they prefer to have that pair by themselves, or they prefer to have the eggs taken out and put into a separate tank. From my personal experience, when I used to breed angelfish, the paired up angelfish, they would kill everything in sight. It doesn't matter how big that fish was, how small it was, they showed no mercy. They wanted to kill whatever was getting close to their offspring, and I don't blame them. You know, that's just like, you know, you're a father, you got your kid with you, and someone is constantly trying to kill your kid. I wouldn't want that happening to me. You wouldn't want that happening to your kid. So they are just doing the same thing. They are just protecting their kids, and that's why these guys, they need to be moved into their own tank, because if you don't move them, these guys, they will kill anything. It doesn't matter. I've had these guys kill baby plecos. I've had these guys kill smaller angelfish, bigger angelfish, cory cats. I've read online that they've killed tetras. They've killed pretty much anything that just goes near their babies. So, you know, just be mindful. If you have a breeding pair of any type of fish, just know that they're going to try to defend their babies at all time. There are a few things that you can do from preventing any deaths in the aquarium. Like I said, you can move them into their own aquarium. You can put a lot of plants in there to give them cover and separate the eye contact from one fish to another. That will lower the aggression by a whole lot. I also have a few videos on breeding angelfish and moving them into their own tank and taking care of the babies in the description. Make sure you guys check those out. hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below and tell me if you guys want to see another series of this. My name is MasterAquatics. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and bye bye.